Welcome to Collective Healing Sundays with Cynthia Clark. I'm so honored you've joined us. Each week we come together to heal, awaken, and ascend, clearing trauma, activating higher timelines, and returning to the truth of who we are. Through energy work, channeled guidance, and the wisdom revealed in your hands, we'll explore the soul's blueprint and reclaim your divine alignment. Take a deep breath, settle into your heart, and let's begin this journey of collective healing together.
Hello, spiritual friends, and welcome to another day of collective healing on Sundays. And today I was prompted to bring in the energy of healing betrayal, which is one that has come about from some meditations and some healing work that I've been doing regarding some of my past lives. So if sometimes we don't even know, right? Like what is being held up in our energy field. And I really want to stress this is the important thing about healing trapped emotions, is that they can hold on for multiple lifetimes. And we really, until we heal it or until we transmute it, right? Back to the light, back to love, it's going to just hold in our energy field. And we need to learn how to heal that together. So the reason we do the collective healing is to actually raise the vibratory set point of the entire planet. So as we heal the betrayal energy within ourselves and heal it through the collective consciousness, we're actually we're opening up the frequencies to the higher vibrations so that we can all ascend, and it can help the planet with ascension as well. So that's why this work is really important. I was guided to do this work a while back, and I was essentially instructed that it would be a really good thing to do. So today we're going to be looking at the energy of betrayal. We're going to be doing some healing work around it as well. So I hope you're excited to dive in. I'm actually going to be sharing my screen here, and we're going to be looking at some slides. So let me go ahead and pull these up right now. And I'm getting a little faster at this, but it still takes me a minute. So bear with me. All right. And here we go. So thank you so much for being here, by the way. I appreciate each and every one of you who is committed to healing not only yourself, but also the collective, because your participation actually does make a difference. And my spirit guides have told me that even one person focusing on this can make a big, big difference in raising the vibration of the planet. So thank you so much for being here and participating. So in today's live stream, we are going to be talking about the two types of trauma that relate to betrayal. And we're also going to look at how betrayal distortions actually show up in your hands. And like I said, we're going to do a collective healing together. So this will be a lot of fun. I brought in some different sound healing that is going to be pertinent for today. So the types of trauma that we want to look at are, you can be on either end of the spectrum. And by the way, just because you're a nice person in this lifetime doesn't mean that you didn't betray someone else in another lifetime, or even in this lifetime. Maybe you just weren't even aware of it. But the two sides of the coin, right? You are the victim on one side. So you were the person who was betrayed, which results in some distortions in your energy field and your emotional field that can relate to shock, fear, stress, and definitely trust issues are going to come up. But also on the other side of the coin, the betrayer side, let's say you were the one who did the betraying, and you're also going to hold on to some of the collective trauma of guilt, shame, and trust issues as well. So we definitely want to take a look at this. And I also want to point out that I did get this message a while back from Archangel Raziel. And so it's super important that we don't stress out too much about the roles we've played. Okay, so this is what he said. He said, it is not necessary for you to know or remember all the parts you have played. Too much information may become a distraction at best and a detriment at worst, for it may lower your vibration back into shame or guilt. This is not our desire for you or anyone with a sincere heart to heal and harmonize karmic influences. This work shall help elevate the vibratory set point of the collective to accelerate one's ability to ascend. For as you know, this is a process and requires a bit of integration to be fully absorbed. All right, so ultimately, the messages that I get week after week from the spirit guides and the angels are that, yes, we as humans, we do things, and these things are not always pleasant or nice or favorable, and they create karma. And so when we create this karma, it needs to be balanced again and harmonized. And this includes things that we have done in any lifetime. So when we go to the Crystal City, so where we go before we're born, we plan out our life, and we know exactly the types of karma that we want to clear. We know exactly, and we choose all of it, right? We choose what we're going to be balancing, and then we go through the veil of amnesia and we forget everything, and we don't remember anything about who we are when we come back. And so it's all appropriate too. Some people ask me, well, why don't we remember? And my answer to that is, if we remembered everything about every lifetime we've ever lived and everything we've ever done, it would be incredibly distracting. And that's also why we experience time in a linear fashion, because even though time is not linear, and we know it's not linear, but we still perceive it that way because it is. It can be an appropriate tool for what it is that we're working on. So if we come through that veil of amnesia and we remember everything, we wouldn't really take it seriously, and we would be distracted. So we forget, and then we can just go ahead and have our life and have our experiences. And then we slowly start to remember things as we get older, and we start to activate different things in our energy field and the experiences that we learn from. So this is all part of a natural progression. And so it's not important for you to remember exactly which lifetime was it that I had this trauma, what was I doing, who did I do it to. We reincarnate as we have different soul relationships with the same people over and over again. But oftentimes it's just in a different format. So, for example, you may have been, with your current husband right now, you might have been a brother of this person in another life, or a father, or even a sister. We change genders in lifetimes as well. So it's interesting to think about that too. You're an infinite being, and you get to choose all of this. So when you come into this lifetime, you better believe you chose exactly who you were going to be and what you were going to be going through in this lifetime. So by the way, if you're interested in learning more about healing your own emotional traumas, this is something that I have put together called the Diamond Heart Emotional Ascension course. And it's a 3-month program. It helps you to unlock emotional freedom, dissolve your self-criticism, and align with your pathway to unconditional love, higher self-expression and profound inner peace. And ultimately, it's to really work on your specific issues that you have and whatever is trapped in your own energy field, which, by the way, does show up in the hands. And we're going to look a little bit at the hands today to give you some ideas of how this can show up. So betrayal distortions can show up in a number of ways. By the way, I'm only going to be showing you a few ways today. Hands are deliciously complex. That's how I like to think of them. And so sometimes they can be overwhelming to people if I give them too much information, especially regarding the hands. So I prefer to give you some little tidbits on some things to look for. So especially studying hands for 17 years, that never gets tiring to me, but it can overwhelm a lot of people. So the first one we want to look at is called the disguise line. And this line can actually show up when you are hiding an aspect of yourself. So if you have been betrayed, then there could be a feeling of I need to hide myself. I need to not be present fully in an aspect of myself. And so this is going to show up in a line that is on the hand that goes, this is called a loyalty line, by the way, the one that comes across here, and then it reaches the lifeline. When it crosses over the lifeline, this is what we call the disguise line. So it's showing that you must hide this particular part of yourself to the world, and you're ashamed of something, right? So it's definitely showing an aspect of your personality that you're not comfortable with, and you just don't want to deal with it. So this is actually a form of self-betrayal when we see this line. Another place that we want to look at is the heart line, which will show our emotional flow. And yes, you are going to have your heart line on both hands on your, just underneath your fingers, right? So we want to take a look at that line, and it is the most wounded line in the hands typically. So if you have a break in the heart line, this is going to show the most common way to see a sense of feeling betrayed. And so here's an example that I wanted to show you. The heart line does start underneath the little finger, and it heads towards either the middle finger or towards the index or Jupiter finger. So this is the main heart line in this person's hand, and we have a secondary heart line right here. This is actually a break in the heart line. This line up above is also the heart line. So I see this a lot, by the way, and it represents that feeling of heartbreak and betrayal, and it's pretty severe when it shows up as a big break like this. So this person was definitely deeply hurt emotionally by someone in their life, and it's typically from a divorce or something like that. That would be a typical way or a reason why we would see this. But it's certainly not the only way. And so that's one place to check. Another place that we want to look on the heart line is underneath the heart line. We have these little crosses that sometimes show up. I call these the dropping crosses. And they will show a feeling of lack of support. So if you feel like, gosh, I'm just not getting enough support, I'm being betrayed by somebody that I love, and they're just not supporting me, these little dropping crosses will show up. By the way, if the cross is right here, what we call the point of intimacy, that will be an indication that you're feeling a lack of support from your significant partner. And if this little cross is showing up closer to the Apollo or the ring finger, that's an indication you're feeling a lack of support from your colleagues or peers. So sometimes it is interesting to see where these little dropping crosses show up on the heart line, but that's definitely another indicator of some stress that you are carrying in your energy field. Okay, so one more line that I want to show you is the Mercury challenge line. And this is what we call a trust challenge. And again, this is one that I see all the time. It starts inside the thumb, right? So next to the thumb, either in this mount right here, which is the solar plexus or Mars section of the hand. Sometimes it starts a little lower. It'll start maybe more towards Venus. Okay, so it's not always like exactly like this. It's a minor line, so it definitely has some variations. And it's typically a curved line that will head over towards the little finger. This is called Mercury. So if you have this line in your hand, it is another indication that you are having a challenge in trust. All right, so here is an example of and I forgot to change this right here, but yeah, we want to just point out the trust challenge. All right, so the print is the one that I was looking for, but yeah, you can see here's where it's starting and it's coming up over here towards the little finger. So you can clearly see this is a trust challenge line. Okay, and it typically will go all the way across the hand. All right, so that is an example of a challenge. And challenge lines can show up in a number of ways. So this is just one example of a challenge line. So signs of betrayal distortions in this lifetime. So you might be experiencing chronic distrust or suspicion. You know, if you feel like everybody is out to get you, that could be a problem that you have been betrayed in a past life, maybe multiple times. You could have difficulty forming or maintaining relationships, right? Because if you have a trust challenge, that is definitely going to be problematic in surrendering to a relationship. You might self-sabotage yourself, or you might just have a fear of success. So that's another way that it can show up. You might feel abandoned by life or by spirit. You might have physical symptoms such as adrenal fatigue, or you might have heart issues. You know, you might have high blood pressure. There's a number of physical symptoms that can show up from emotional stresses. And I do believe there's always an emotional component to every physical illness. So a lot of times, though, we don't relate it to a collective wound or a karmic wound or a past life wound, because, you know, there's still a lot of people who don't even believe in past lives, which I find, you know, pretty crazy because, you know, how can you think that this is your only life? You're an infinite being. I mean, to me, that's just totally very limited thinking. So, you know, it makes, and there's been studies done, by the way, on past lives. There was I wish I could remember his name, but he interviewed a bunch of children. He was this guy in India, and he interviewed children in India who were, you know, they believe obviously in reincarnation in India. And they were all these children remembered their past lives, and they actually verified the information. So they looked up the person's name, they looked up the life, they looked up the time of death. You know, these little kids had amazing details on this past existence. So, and I think he interviewed about 3,000 kids. It was a lot. It was a big study. But anyway, so I firmly believe in the energy of our past lives, but I also believe that we have past, present, and futures actually present in this lifetime. And that also shows up in the hands, and that's how I look at the hands, as they are, they're going to show us, you know, what's going on. They're going to show us what needs to heal. And, you know, the bottom line is we don't really need to worry, you know, just like the Archangel Raziel told us, we don't need to know exactly where it comes from or what it is. And we don't need to get hung up on that, right? So don't get hung up on these little details. just be relaxed and just know that the healing is going to happen. All right, so we're going to move into our palm portal healing, and we're actually going to work with the hands again. So I was given information about the hands and the fact that they are portals to opening up our multidimensional selves. So every single fingerprint is a portal to your multidimensional self. You also have a portal located right in the center of your palm called the portal of change. And we definitely want to work with all the portals to really work with our ascension. You know, ultimately, it's all about ascension. I was given 7 aspects of ascension to guide people into really raising their vibration permanently. And I work with these portals and I work with the ascension aspects every single day, also for my own life. So I am not, I'm certainly not exempt from needing this healing. I'll just put it that way. But I walk with you guys, I walk alongside you guys, and I am committed to helping you and the rest of the planet with this ascension. So again, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate all of you. So we're going to start out with a healing tone. We are going to use the Neptune healing tone, which by the way is 422.88 hertz. And so I have these beautiful planetary tuning forks, and we want to focus on this symbol here. So when I do my channelings, I will often get symbols that are corresponding to different things. And I do this in a form called automatic writing. And so this is the symbol that came through for just clearing, right? Because we want to clear out the old energy, and then we want to program something new in. All right. So we're going to be working with our left thumb, which is our portal of collective willpower. All right. And so we're going to be opening and activating that. And then we're going to be working with our right hand and our portal of change, which is right in the center part of the hand. And I'm just going to guide you through a little process that we're going to heal. All right. So just go ahead and relax. And we're going to have you just place your left thumb on your right portal of change. And then you can repeat this invocation to yourself or silently or out loud. Left thumb, portal open to the portal of change, so that I may claim my divine birthright of collective willpower and conscious co-creation. As part of the collective, I now choose to clear any and all trauma across all lifetimes, dimensions, and timelines related to the energy of betrayal and being betrayed. I release trauma of shock, distrust, abuse, fear, shame, disillusionment, and heartbreak now. I also release trauma carried from lifetimes where I contributed to betraying someone else, and now release any trauma of guilt, shame, or burdens relating to these events. Feel yourself being completely cleansed, purged, dissolved, and transmuted back to the earth as compost now. Feel the nutrients being received by Gaia, transmuting into strengthening her, assisting her ascension in total love and harmony and divine intelligence now. Thank you, and so it is. Okay, just feel all of that clearing from your system right now. All right. Now we're going to move to another portal, And this time we are going to move to the left Mercury portal of soulmate love and healing. So this is going to be on your left hand, and it's your left little finger specifically that we're working with. And we want to focus on the fingerprint area of the left little finger. And so this is the portal where we are going to do the healing, and this really helps to bring in trust. The symbol that I want you to focus on is the symbol here, which is the portal. It corresponds with the portal of left Mercury, but it also represents reciprocating trust. So this is going to open up reciprocating trust energy in your field, and it's really more of a balanced trust, right? So it's having good boundaries, but it's also about just like not being overly guarded or being a pushover, right? We want to be somewhere in the middle. We want to be balanced in our reciprocating trust energy. Okay, so I brought in my sound bowl, my heart chakra bowl. And so I'm going to be playing that as we do this next portion. And what you can do is just take your little finger and you're going to place it on your left thumb, okay? And then you're going to put these two together, and then you can put it up to your heart because we are connecting with the collective. Alrighty, so here we go. Focus on the symbol and imagine that it is imprinted on your left little finger. When you're ready, you may close your eyes gently and allow yourself to be supported by the earth beneath you. Take a deep breath in and exhale fully, releasing any tension that you are holding. Feel your body soften and your heart become receptive. Your spirit is now expanding. Feel the energy of your heart, the eternal flame that has never been extinguished, no matter what betrayals you have endured. Breathe this into this portal. Feel the loving presence of your higher self surrounding you now, pure, radiant, and whole. In your mind's eye, imagine a gentle golden light descending from above, flowing into your crown chakra, down through your body and into the earth. This light holds the frequency of divine trust. It knows that every experience that you have lived has led you here to your awakening. Now, silently or aloud, repeat after me. Left Mercury, portal open, so that I may access my divine birthright of soulmate love and healing. As part of the collective, I call forth all imprints of betrayal, personal and collective, across all lifetimes, dimensions, and timelines. I honor the lessons they carried, and I now release their weight from my being. Visualize the golden light gathering the old cords, the pain, the sorrow, gently lifting them out of your body, your cells, your energy field. Feel them dissolving into the light, being transmuted by the unconditional love of Source. You are not your wounds. You are the light that remains after the storm has passed. Breathe deeply. As you inhale, draw in the new frequency of divine trust, self-love, and sacred connection. As you exhale, release any residue of doubt, fear, or betrayal. Now, place your awareness on your left thumb, the portal of collective willpower. Imagine a soft, iridescent green light swirling around it, circling through your left little finger. So they're circling around each other, sealing your intention to trust yourself, to trust life, and trust the higher orchestration of your journey. Repeat silently to yourself, I trust myself. I trust my soul's path. I trust the divine timing of my life. Feel the expansion in your heart. Feel the peace settling into your being. You are free. You are whole. You are ascending. Your vibratory set point is ascending. You are healing. You send ripples of healing out into the collective field, offering the vibration of restored trust to all beings on the planet. Breathe this truth into every cell. I am a lighthouse of trust, guiding others back to the remembrance of their wholeness. When you are ready, you may release your fingers, and you can gently wiggle your fingers and your toes if you like. You can bring your awareness back to where you are, back to the present moment, and you're carrying this new vibration with you. You are love, you are light, you are sovereign. Thank you, and so it is. Okay, so go ahead and just see how you feel now after we did that healing, and hopefully you feel amazing. Definitely, I recommend doing this a few times. You know, you might need to do this more than once, but this will be recorded, so you'll be able to come back to the recording. And especially if you have any of those markers that we talked about in your hands. So if you're interested, like I said, I am so happy to serve you and assist you with co-creating the life that your soul is destined for. It is my passion to show you how you can cultivate true self-mastery through the markings in your very own hands. How can you step into your highest timeline? How can you manifest with purpose, and ultimately healing all the blocks that you might be carrying. So this is my wish for you, that you live in harmony with your highest potential. All right, so that is what we're doing today. Let's see here. And let me come back to the room. And let's see if we've got some comments. Julie, yay. Okay, she says she feels lighter. Okay, lovely. Yeah, I'm so glad you're here, Julie. Yeah, this is really, really important work. So if any of you have any other questions or comments, I welcome them today. So I definitely would recommend going back over some of my other healing sessions, the live streams that I've done on Sundays over the last couple of months. So if you feel like you need any other ones, definitely go to my YouTube channel to find all of the replays. And that is just on YouTube at Spirit Ascension 17 is the channel. And I do plan on keeping this up as a regular thing. So just depending on what Spirit wants me to align with and share with you, I will continue to do so. And I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you, Julie. I love you too. Oh, you're so wonderful. And yeah, until next time, let's ascend together, everyone. That's what we're here for. So have a beautiful day, and I'll see you next time.